And you are looking at the Target Center floor, 600 First Avenue North. Welcome in to Game 2 of the Minnesota Timberwolves 2015 edition of the Shootout. My name is Webster Ford. To my right is Micah Dagle, good friend and brother of mine. We'll get a chance to give you the call of game number 2 today. Cretin-Derham Hall out of St. Paul, taking on North Scott out of Eldridge, Iowa. A outstanding opportunity for a couple of high school squads to play on a professional floor. And Micah, first and foremost, welcome to the microphones, or as the Russian would say, the microphone.
Thank you, Webbs.
And it's a fun day for these kids. And Micah, we've both had chances to play on professional fields or courts before. And when you look at this, before we get into the keys of the game, and as the starters are about to be announced, what kind of things are we looking at first? Actually, we're going to take a look at the keys to the game. We want Sam Newman for Cretin-Derham Hall to go off, just go absolutely off. Last year, he scored 39 points. He's a three-point threat. How do you think Cretin's going to be able to get him to go off?
It's all about a fast start. It's Cretin works their offense from their defense. So the big block, the big steal, even the big rebound. It is all about moving into an offense from a big defensive play. If Cretin can do that and get Newman open for a quick three or quick transition bucket, we are looking at a big game from him and a big game from Cretin.
Yeah, and you take a look at this North Scott, Iowa squad. Huge guard play. They have a couple of pretty nice guards, and they know how to play, and they need that big play. And if they can control the turnovers, Micah, you're going to see that chance to see them possibly run this game. And speaking of this game, Micah, this floor is a little different than the high school floors in the cornfields and in St. Paul and everywhere else in the conference. Up here, it's a little bit longer, and more importantly, Micah, people get paid to play basketball on this floor.
Exactly, and that brings us to our third key of the game. This game becomes so big because it plays back to the dreams that each kid has, playing on the big stage. So
huge dreams, huge opportunity for these kids, and it goes right into, as the starting lineups are being announced for both squads, that it's kind of fun to be able to get the starting lineups announced in the dark. This is a pretty good feel, a pro feel, isn't it, Micah?
The lights are going, the music is blaring. We're not even on the court, and our hearts are already in our throats. This excitement is something special for these high school players.
Schoolspacemedia.tv is where you can find us online. You can watch this at any point in time of your day this week, next week, hey, even in a year. If you want to go, hey, that was a really good game, you can go back to schoolspacemedia.tv, watch any game there that we carry, and we can do that all on demand. As I take a look, and this is both a note to you and me, Micah, and it's also a note to our operators back in the truck, that Sam Newman, our main player to watch for Cretin-Derham Hall, not wearing 41, not wearing 1, he's wearing number 4. So Sam Newman, Newman is wearing number 4. Last year in this Timberwolves shootout, he went off. He had 9 3-pointers. He went 9 of 12. Most of his 3-pointers were taken out by like the T of the target center or the R of the target center, depending on which end you're looking at, the one that's closer to the 3-point line. And it's exciting to see him, and it's good to know what jersey he wears too.
Exactly, 39 points, but still in a losing effort. So Cretin is trying to get off the skid against Iowa teams, as they lost to Bettendorf, Iowa last year, 71-66. Here we will see what North Scott and Cretin can do. The
tip is up, and now we're on and ready to go. Starting lineup for the North Scott Iowa Lancers. They are coming in looks like Buckeye jerseys, basically. So I apologize in advance if I call them the Buckeyes, not the Lancers, a couple of times. 3-point ball by Trey Kielberg. Can't get it to go on the first rebound for the Cretin-Derham Hall
Nice
Raiders.
Quick pace.
Joe Rozga for 3. He's got it already. And Rozga and Newman are 2 big 3-point shooters. And you know what? You got to pick your poison. Newman, you want him to go off. But if he's not, Rozga, a nice second option. Ball moving around. This second game, there's a slate of 4 games today. The second game is where you actually start to see the blood flow a little bit. 9 o'clock for that first game. That's hard for everybody, announcers included. But
it's not only early, it was really cold. 11 below when I left the house this morning.
It was still cold, and it's still going to be cold here in Minnesota as a cold cat of a turnover. As stepping on the out-of-bounds line was the Lancers, giving the ball back to the Cretin-Derham Hall Red Raiders. They're not red, though. That's the Texas Tech Raiders. More purple. Newman has the ball. He's going to Montana State next year. And on the run goes Marlon Stewart. Stewart kicks it over, gets to Graham. Graham now in the corner. Nice offensive flow, really, so far for both teams. We're only a minute and a half into the game.
Still trying to feel out the defenses on both sides. Just little
Getting used to each other. There's not enough tape that you can get for either team. And a ball poked away by Newman. He gets it into the hands of Gresham. Gresham taps it back from the NBA 3 is Sam Newman. Oh! He's already got his first one. Is he going to get another one?
No hesitation at all, Webb. No hesitation.
Not even close. He was ready for it. He wanted to shoot it. As we got a good solid, I'm going to put this right out there. We got a good solid Mike out there. And now the first bucket of the game for Cortez Seals, player to watch for the Lancers of North Scott.
Another D1 recruit headed to North Dakota next year.
Yeah, Cortez Seals gets that chance to be playing in some big stuff for, well, we have to just call them the University of North Dakota. We got to be a PC, I guess. So now ball poked away. Ricky Grimes forgot what sport he was playing as he kicked it out of bounds. That would have been a good kick right into the goal, though, if he was playing soccer.
Not too bad, actually.
And,
we still got the nerves. You can see it a little bit. The dribbles aren't quite as clean as they need to be. The footwork is just, there's a lot of adrenaline going right now.
15 left to go. 2 3-pointers for Cretin and an inside bucket for North Scott are the scoring so far. Sam Newman thought about a 3. Holy cow, he didn't shoot it. Lobbed it inside, gets to Gresham, now kicks it back outside. Gets it to Delaney. Hard bounce off the rim and a rebound to Seals. Seals, not the biggest fella, really. I mean, he's 6'4", but he feels like he's a little smaller, but he plays like he's huge. Goes up for it.
It's all about the aggression.
Marlon Stewart wanted the contact. He craved the contact. He needed the contact. My God, that's exactly what he got. Let's see. So this gives us a chance to go over starting lineups. For the North Scott, Iowa Lancers at 6-1 coming in today. They're number 3 in the state of Iowa as the first free throw goes in. They're led by Marlon Stewart and Cortez Seals. They have Trey Kilberg and Grant Graham as well. And down low is Ricky Grimes. Second free throw up and no good. Rebound squeezed by Frank Delaney. Frank Delaney, one of the starters for the Raiders. He's joined with Joe Rosga, Donnell Gresham, Jordan Ammons, and of course, Sam Newman.
Oh, Newman.
6-3 lob into Newman. Newman gets the control. Oh, Newman, he was too close. He's used to shooting it from 20 feet away, but when he's 2 feet away, he couldn't get it. Still remains 6-3. Fans, I want to thank you for jumping online to schoolspacemedia.tv. Don't forget, you can watch it anytime at that very website as a shot goes up and in. Cortez Seals has 4 of the 5 points for North Scott. You can get this game on DVD from the production partner Stream Powered Productions. Head over to stream-powered.com as a steal turns into a layup. As Kilberg, Trey Kilberg, makes me think of Craig Kilborn.
Beautiful pick. He read it all the way and led it into easy transition points.
7-6 is now the North Scott Lancers on top for the first time this game. 13.5 to go. Stop, pop. And that's what we were talking about in the pregame, Micah. Playing this game, he had 2 feet where he could have stepped inside and still gotten a 3-point shot. Gresham stops and pops, and he says, I'll take it. Donnell Gresham got it. His first bucket of the game. He's got now first 2-point basket for the Raiders.
And that was an easy bucket. Long shot, long rebound.
No one was there in front of him. So now a spin off. Ricky Grimes gets it back out. Now resetting the offense. Right now it looks like Cretin is satisfied with playing a man defense. I've seen them play zone because of their size and their speed, but right now they're satisfied with the man-on-man. Step back shot from the elbow, no good. That's where they play. That's where they call it the KG shooting. Kevin Garnett made famous here in this building.
You got to box out, son.
Rebound down into the hands of Gresham. Gresham doesn't look very comfortable taking the ball up past half court. Gets it up, gets the contact. Feet weren't set. 2 free throws coming for Mr. Gresham. 12.5 to play, 8-7. Micah, what are you noticing so far?
Tentative yet. There is pressing on both defenses, but still each team is looking for their opportunities.
And I know Gresham is a driver, and you hit it best. Tentative. He was very tentative to even hit into the lane. He knows he could have went up. He probably could have slammed it down on that one. But instead, he was still tentative on doing that. And now coming in, Chris Perry, junior 6'3" wing player. 12.5 to play. Second free throw rattles in, so the lead itself doubles. 9-7. I want to see North Scott try to go up and down with this Cretin team. I know head coach Jerry Klein, he runs his boys for those first 3 weeks in November just so they can run up and down for a good 36 minutes. And I want to see what North Scott can do to keep it up. What a pass dish off and a nice find. Grant Graham up and in off a beautiful find off a dribble drive. Makes it 10-9. Lead now down to 1. Oh, both free throws were made. My bad. Sam Newman from outside the NBA. 3. Oh, my goodness, he missed it. Tap back rebound perfectly placed to Gresham. And Donnell hears his name on the overhead speaker, gives a little head nod to the PA speaker. What would that be like, hearing your name on the Target Center PA speaker, huh?
It's got to feel good, Webster. It's got to feel good.
Kicking outside.
North Scott seems to be
satisfied
in their game here. It is
Chris Perry. Oh, Sam Newman gets a foot peck up. Now Joe Roscoe back dribble. Sam Newman out to Frank. Frank tanks it in.
Nice find. Nice find.
Frank Delaney makes the lead 5. Fan, these games are brought to us in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. More than a college, it's a community dedicated to your success.
There we go.
Dribble drive and a nice, appropriate left-handed layup on the left side. The coach in me got me a little bit smiley on that one. You got to lay it up on the right side with the right hand, left side.
Those layup drills work, Webster.
This is why I coach. I can't, so I coach. 10:40 to play. Game 2 of 4. 3-point shot for Gresham, no good. Frank can't get it in, gets it to Newman. Newman! Oh! Newman with the lay-in, the hoop, the harm, going for a 3-point play.
We talked about in the opening, Webb. It's all about Newman. The defense is rotating to him every time he touches the ball, and he's continuing to find open players.
It's all about that Sam, about that Sam, about that Sam. All shooting. You're welcome.
Wow, really?
You're welcome. And a free throw up and good. 3-point play good. It's 17-11. 10:27 to go here in the first half. We will step away. This is the 2015 Timberwolves shootout. And taking a look at it, Anoka Ramsey dedicated to responding to the educational needs of changing communities and providing opportunities for enhancing knowledge, skill, and values in a supportive learning environment. Anoka Ramsey Community College, with campuses in Cambridge and in Coon Rapids, more than a college. When you need immediate medical care, get to the urgency room with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the urgency room. 2015 Timberwolves shootout. They've been doing this game now since 1995. They've had at least one game up to, they had actually a 2-day series about a few years ago, but now trying to kind of get into that slate of 4 games. This is the second of 4 today. Later today, we'll see De La Salle play. We'll see a couple of games going on, and Mike Peden will have the call on those. We welcome you back into the play of action here. Webster Ford alongside Micah Dagle. We're going 17-11 is the score. Ball in the hands of the Lancers.
It'll be interesting to see what the Lancers run out of the timeout. So far, their offense hasn't been able to find their niche, really. A few penetrations, a few perimeter shots, but nothing yet quite settled in.
Perimeter shot, back rim, no good. A good shot, though. Most coaches say any open shot is a good shot. Ball poked away to break up the fast break. What defense on the transition side for North Scott. Ball poked out of bounds, so no fast break. But that was Ricky Grimes. He saw that ball coming. He read it like Darren Sharper. Poked it away. Only when Darren Sharper was a football player. That's all we'll go with.
Yeah, we'll leave the rest of that alone.
Maybe I should have went John Lynch. Yeah, well. 9:40 left to play. Gresham setting up the offense from near the Timberwolves logo. The third game of today's docket as Rozga drives around a screen, floats it up over the defense, can't get it. Oh, Sam Newman! Where'd you come from, Sam Newman, getting the rebound? Donnell Gresham, dribble drive, kick back out. Sam Newman, that's his spot. Now off to Joe Rozga. Lots of active motion for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders as Joe Rozga makes it in.
Oh, that spin one was pretty. There's nothing you can do about that. There's just nothing you can do.
19-11, Morgan Park, Illinois takes on De La Salle in game 3 today. And then game 4, around 2:30 this afternoon, Rice Lake of Wisconsin takes on one of the best teams in the state, Champlain Park, the Rebels, as a missed ball poked out to Chris Perry.
The lid's pretty tight on that rim.
We noticed that in the first game today. It was a little bit tough, and but it's a little easier for both teams this second game. Maybe the first 2 teams got a chance to soften up the rim a little bit. Ball off for Frank, now to Sam, step back 3, no good. Ball poked, but right into the hands of the Lancers. And Ricky Grimes, dribble drive, coast to coast, Tyus Endy style. That was Marlon Stewart. 19-13, trimming the lead back down to 6. I think this North Scott team, you know, they might be okay with hanging for a little bit, seeing what kind of first couple of punches that Cretin can throw.
Been very opportunistic so far in their scoring. Not much coming out of their set offenses, but when they can find a lane or find a play coming off of the defensive movement, there's something to it.
19-13 is the score. Gresham, or Perry rather, gets it off to Rozga. And you know, this is a patient offense. Gresham, back rim, no good. Oh, off the hands of Rozga.
And patience is the key. In high school, you don't have the shot clock, you don't have the demands.
There was at least 5 or 6 passes on that offensive possession, and that's going to, you're either going to get give up a turnover, or you're going to frustrate the defense because they're going to be sick of moving. So, kind of one of those split veers like Novocaine, just keep going. At some point, it's gonna crack.
And it's going to help you on the other side of the ball as well.
Screen, Seals, ekes through. He's showing that the University of North Dakota is going to have a nice product on the floor when he's wearing the green up there.
That dribble drive is something special, Webb.
19-15, the lead down to 4 on a mini little 4-0 run put on by the Lancers. Nice trapping defense put on by the Lancers. Joe Rozga dribble drive, what a find! Up under and good.
Just like they wrote it up.
Daniel Oturu gets it in. Just like they wrote it up, Micah Dagle. Ball up and good. Grant Graham with the left hand inside. Back down to 4. This is a little bit more of a back and forth game. This is the fun type of game for fans at home.
Exactly. This is why you watch basketball. It's the athleticism, it's the up and down.
Cretin-Derham Hall has the ball. Sam trapped, almost traveled. Gresham just inside the 3-point line. Smooth, silky. Put him on a roll because that was butter. Oh, that was nice. Ball kicked outside. 3-point attempt back rim, no good. Tipped around and controlled this time by Grieve. And Grieve wasn't sorry about that one. Trims the lead back to 4. Just under 6 to play, and the cobwebs, I think, have rattled off of both teams, whether it be a short travel or a long travel. Eldridge, Iowa, where North Scott is at, is one of the Quad Cities, so it's probably a good 6-hour drive. Ball poked away, and Sam Newman pouting about it. Up, and just a little bit up over the rim for the lay-in. Not enough a dunk, though. Sam Newman still wants a foul, still claiming for a foul, but not getting one. Gets a small screen. Ball lobbed up now. Inside post play. And you see down low, Micah, you had a couple of players for the Lancers battling for the rebound. Oh, how many times has that happened where you battle for a rebound when you're on the same team? Too many times.
Gotta check that spacing, Webster. Gotta check that spacing.
Spacing, Joe Rozga. Stop. Float. Oh, the float. He can't get in there. Rebound, offensive rebound, fouled on the rebound is Oturu. Oturu, check this. He's a freshman. Kid's a freshman and he's 6 foot 6 inches tall. That's 78 inches of a 15-year-old. Dang.
Well, I'm glad I'm not paying for his grocery bills, Webster.
Can you imagine? That kid is a growing boy. Few new check-ins. Trey Kilberg back into the game. Sam Newman taking his first break of the game. Looks as though he possibly might be getting a little attention down at the bench. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ball into Oturu. It's now to Ammons. Ammons, gold jacket, green jacket. Ball floated out to Joe Rozga. Scores 23-21. And again, you're watching this on schoolspacemedia.tv. My name is Webster Ford. Right to the right of me is Micah Dagle. Ball floating on the floor, but ball getting back into the control of Frank Delaney. Joe Rozga shows his dribble drive prowess, but he can't finish. Rebound right there, though. Oh, how can you let Chris Perry? Chris Perry's got the most hair on the floor, and you could see him from a mile away, but he got the ball with no one around him.
Oh. This is the second time Rozga's driven, and just beautiful drives that he has not been able to finish.
Got to capitalize on the bunnies, even if we're 3 months away from Easter. 4 points is the lead for Cretin-Derham Hall. 25-21 with 4 to play in the first half. Ball kicked off, now out to Kilberg. And back to Kilberg. This offense looks nice, little spin move up at all the defense. You could take your pick at one of 3 different Raiders to call that foul on, Micah.
And he went in with no hesitation. He just,
nice
going
spin,
in among the trees.
Big pivot, and they're going to call it on Frank. They could have called it on Chris Perry, too, as we quick watch the replay. But either way, Mr. Stewart shows that it's a wonderful life down in the trees. Can't get it to go for the first free throw, though. Free throws, Micah. No one's putting a hand in your face.
No excuse, Webster. No excuse.
3:52 to go. That's the coach in me that I'm like, come on. See if the second free throw can go. No good. So a nil trip as Frank the Tank gets a rebound.
North Scott's having trouble picking up their free opportunities.
Dribble drive, lost control, ball on the floor, looking like a fool with the ball on the floor. Stewart picks it up. Is he gonna kick it? No, he's not. He gets it himself. He goes coast to coast. That's the second so far in this game that Marlon Stewart has taken 2 all the way from one end to the other. A very short break for Sam Newman as he's back on the floor directing traffic with or without the ball, setting a screen on the far side from us, and your camera view as well. Ball fed inside to Oturu. That's a freshman mistake. Made a good post move, but he dribbled it off his foot, Micah. That'll come with time, you think?
It will. It will. It's becoming comfortable with the offense, becoming comfortable in the game. And becoming comfortable with his body.
And Cortez, oh my heavens. He had a hand almost in his chin. He said, I don't care. Nails it, ties it up at 25 apiece.
We were talking earlier about North Scott trying to find its identity, and it looks like the dribble drive is where they're having the most success. And why stop? That's such an easy shot, easy basket. It's
that old adage, Micah. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. Keep doing it. Gresham way away from the basket. A little bit of ISO play, gets contact. He's going to go to the line. Fans, don't forget that you can watch this game not just online at schoolspacemedia.tv, but you can also buy it on DVD form from our production partner, Stream Powered Productions. Head to stream-powered.com to place your order. 2:13 to go, a pretty even matchup so far, Micah.
It really has been. Both teams are making the most of their opportunities that they have. We're seeing a lot of defensive and offensive transition for both teams, not just from Cretin, as we expected going into the game. So,
and you take a look at it, the two players to watch. Sam Newman has 6 points off of 2 threes and 2 front rim free throws, nothing on him. So we remain tied. And Cortez Seals has 8. Up under. Marlon Stewart had a good move and an outlet pass that made Donovan McNabb just blush. And a travel after. That's when you look at when you're a coach, you take one finger, you put it to the temple, and you just go, think son. Think, son. Just under 2 to play. We're still tied after 50 points. It's an even split, 25 apiece. Cutting, ooh, but blocking. Oh, Sam Newman gets blocked. And we're going to take a look. Let's take a look at that block one more time. Here comes a cut from Sam. Here comes a block from Cortez. It was clean too, wasn't it?
That was just how they write it up.
Woo. Sam Newman getting guarded by Cortez Seals. That's the type of matchup you want. A cut, but a nice hand pass block.
Scott is playing the passing lanes really, really well. Not allowing easy passes inside or even on the perimeter.
Gresham resets the offense. This is a unseasonably low scoring night for Sam Newman, who is the all-time leading scorer for Cretin-Derham Hall school history. He's got 6, and they've played 15 minutes so far. Oof.
Low scoring game overall. Cretin scores in the 75% points a game range, and we're only at 25 for each team right now.
Take a look at North Scott. They are number 3 overall in the state of Iowa. You know, Iowa not huge known for their basketball, a lot more known for their wrestling, but still, if you're number 3 in the entire state, that's something to say to you. Just now a minute, and now we got a scrum and a kerfuffle, and down low, a foul's going to be called on Grant Graham. He's pointing fingers. Sam Newman says, "No, it wasn't on me, bro." Team 6, so that's going to be the last foul before we get bonus. And look at that. This is absolute discipline, Micah. Between the two teams, a whole half of basketball base almost, only 8 fouls.
And with as physical as the play has been, for them to have been playing clean physical basketball without fouling, that is what's been most impressive.
And a little bit, I think, of maybe a swallow the whistle every so often as well, and that's just fine. I have no problem letting them play as long as it's consistent on both sides. Step back outside the NBA three-point line. Joe Rosga with the offensive rebound. Finds a cutting Gresham. Up, under, no rim. Oh, man. Can't get no love from the rim. 25 apiece. Ball now into the hands of Cortez Seals. And it looks as though at 30 seconds, and this is the joy of not having a shot clock, or maybe for some of you, a lack of joy, we're setting up for the last shot of the half. Sagging into, right now, really basically nothing. No offense, no defense. They're going to let clock run till probably, what, 6 seconds?
I would say here now at 10 seconds, we'll see something happen.
Screen off now. Now we're under 3, 2, shot up for 3, good! And that's how we'll close the half. Cortez Seals closed the half at 11 points, 11 of the 28. Woo! That's a way to go into the halftime locker room, isn't it, Micah?
It's definitely not the way they wrote it up, but boy, was it pretty.
Absolutely pretty, and a pretty half of basketball so far. 28-25, North Scott on top. We will step away. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves 2015 Shootout, brought to you by SchoolSpaceMedia.tv and Stream Powered Productions.
You're watching the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by School Space Media and Stream Powered Productions. This game is brought to you in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. It's more than a college. It's a community dedicated to your success. And by the Urgency Room, with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Badness Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room. The halftime show is coming up next.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Get the best values at Village Chevrolet. Village Chevrolet has the largest selection of the new 2015 Tahoe and Suburban models in the Twin Cities. Visit villagechev.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
And we welcome you back into the Target Center site of the 2015 Minnesota Timberwolves Shootout halftime. North Scott, Iowa, out of Eldridge, Iowa, up 28-25 over Cretin-Derham Hall. The Raiders out of St. Paul. My name is Webster Ford. I'm the play-by-play voice this morning, and I'm right next to Micah Dagle, a good friend and brother of mine. And so far, this first half, we were just talking right before the break, right before the end of the half, that Micah, this game so far has been evenly matched, hasn't it?
It really has been, and it has all been all about the defense for both teams.
And as we take a look, we square away some of the those highlights, and we started off early and quick with a couple of three-point flushes from Rozga and this one right from Newman, and it was immediate, it was quick, and then North Scott needed to answer, and who else to trust but Cortez Seals. And Seals, again, he basically tried to control it, and then when the eyes went to him, he would find other players.
Seals has been the big man on the court tonight.
The three-point shot, however, for the Raiders hasn't been going down as much as they'd want to. As we take a look, really now they're trying to go into the dribble driving, as you talked a little bit about Joe Rozga really containing things, and then again, once the eyes got on him, defense would go towards him and he would find more teammates. So really, it's been evenly balanced. Joe Rozga, not the lead scorer of the game. Donnell Gresham for Cretin is the leading scorer. As we look at Donnell Gresham pushing in right there. Donnell Gresham has 8 of the 25 for Cretin. He's the leading scorer, whereas we just see Marlon Stewart and then Cortez Seals leading the way. Between the two of them, they have 16 of the 28 points for this North Scott team. And again, going back to it being evenly matched, looking at it, you could tell in the score, but you can also tell in the way that things are playing, can't you?
Very, very much so. The tempo, very, very even for both teams. Neither side seems to be able to get on any kind of run. Very, very closely played. And going back to our keys, it is interesting to me that the keys that we talked about at the beginning of the game, it has almost been a complete opposite what we've seen. Whereas we expected a big game from Newman, we've seen a big game from Cortez Seals, and then it's actually been the guards for Cretin leading the way rather than the guards from North Scott.
Exactly. And as we sit here, we're here in what is a huge event for the Minnesota Timberwolves in an outreach effort, and one of those leaders in that is Jeff Moeneke, and we actually had a chance to get an interview with him, and let's cut over and hear what he has to say about this entire event.
Moeneke, he actually organizes this event and very proud of it. Jeff, tell us a little bit about today and putting it together. Yeah, it's our great opportunity to showcase Minnesota's top talent, great coaches, great players, obviously great games. So this is the 19th year we've been doing our Timberwolves events, and it's just, once again, it's a labor of love for us, where it's a great give back to the basketball community. And once again, we have great matchups today. And by the way, it's kind of a 5-for-1 deal, 4 great high school games, and the Timberwolves and Spurs tonight as well.
So if you buy a ticket to this game, you can stay here all day and then come to the night game.
Yeah, all day. In fact, you'll see a lot of our fans that are here up with their tub of popcorn, the newspaper. They're spread out for the day, and they'll stay for the entire day of basketball.
And then you get teams not only from Minnesota, but you get them from the region as well. How do you talk some of these guys into coming here?
Yeah, so what we do is we're usually working almost a year in advance. Obviously, the Minnesota schools, we have our fingers on a pulse on who are the teams with the top talent, top programs on a year-to-year basis. We're already starting to lock into next year, as a matter of fact. And then around the region and around the country. So we've had teams as far as Oregon, California, and New York. But we've tried to stay a little bit more regional, just because basketball in the Midwest has become so strong.
So basically, you're kind of scouting these guys so you can have great talent at these events.
All the time, and you're always looking for who are the underclassmen, who are the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors coming up, who are the programs with a lot of returning players, and you're looking at always trying to advance it, so you lock it in a year in advance. It's always the first or second Saturday in January every year, so we've already notified some of the schools that we have the pulse on for next year, and we'll start getting all our outstate schools locked in here in the next month.
This is a great event, Jeff. Thanks for pulling it off.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you very much, Don. And as we're sitting here at halftime, it is 28-25. North Scott on top, and Webster Ford here alongside Micah, Dagle. And Micah, we got a chance during that interview we were hitting at the interview, but we were also pouring over the stat sheet. And Micah, a glaring discrepancy, and actually surprise that doesn't blend over onto the scoreboard is the discrepancy in offensive rebounds. Right now, Cretin has 8 offensive rebounds to 2 for North Scott, but North Scott still seems to be on the scoreboard higher.
It's almost perplexing when you see the rebounding disparity, because every common sense basketball bone in my body is saying a team that has that big of a lead on the offensive glass should be up and up big, and yet we see that North Scott still has a 3-point lead.
And that's where, when you're Coach Klein for Cretin and you're looking at it going, what happened? But then you lend to it and you go over, and it's the turnovers. Right now, at the half, Cretin has turned the ball over 7 times to North Scott's 4, and that's lent them to a 28-25 halftime lead for only 4 turnovers for the North Scott Iowa Lancers. We're going to come back and wrap up our halftime, get ready for the second half, and we'll do that right after this. You're watching the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by SchoolSpaceMedia.tv and Stream Powered Productions.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Get the best values at Village Chevrolet. Village Chevrolet has the largest selection of the new 2015 Tahoe and Suburban models in the Twin Cities. Visit villagechev.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
And welcome back to the 2015 Minnesota Timberwolves Shootout on SchoolSpaceMedia.tv. This is brought to us, in part, by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. We're more than a college. It's a community dedicated to your success. Anoka Tech, and by the Urgency Room, with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the urgency room. It's 28-25 here at halftime, and the North Scott Lancers on top by 3 over the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. And Micah, one thing we were looking at over the break was defense lending its way to offense. You know, and North Scott, they've been leading the way so far in the steals column. 5
big steals for North Scott to no steals and only 1 block for Cretin-Derham Hall. And we talked in the beginning about how Cretin-Derham Hall relies on their offense flowing from their defense. Big plays, big blocks, big steals, leading to easy buckets, and how that leads to a smoother flow for their offense. And so far, Cretin hasn't been able to find that out.
Schoolspacemedia.tv is where you can find this broadcast both currently and if you want to watch it at any point down the road, next week, next month, next year, anytime. You can most certainly find that on schoolspacemedia.tv, all found on demand. You can also get those DVD orders in from our production partner, Stream Powered Productions. Head to stream-powered.com to order. He, to my right, is Micah Dagle. He is in charge of the color commentary for this broadcast. I am Webster Ford. I'll be giving you the play-by-play, and I am so joyed to bring you this second half of this game. We also have Don Ackerman and Lisa Von Steingel on the sidelines during halftime and during the end of the game as well. We'll be getting ready for the second half, and it looks as though we're getting the original starters on the floor for both teams. So we're ready to go. Take a look. A one-team union for the Lancers. They have warm-up shirts that say all of us. And seriously, when you get the camera closer to them and you're up closer to those jerseys, it's really hard not to say the Buckeyes, bro. It's really hard not to say the Buckeyes. But they are not the Buckeye State. They're Iowa. 28-25 is the score, and we are ready to go. Gresham gets the ball, waiting for a screen, but decides to go against it. And right now, I would like to see out of halftime for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. Go back to that main key. Your scoring leader is Sam Newman. Get him something instead of
a quick turnover.
And it was poked out of bounds. Saved by the Lancers. It was a save by the Lancers. Now ball inbounded to Sam Newman. Newman back up to Rozga. Rozga, the natural point guard of this team. Best ball handler. Montana State recruit Sam Newman waiting for the ball. Frank the Tank gets it now over to Gresham.
Beautiful pass down low.
Oh, Jordan Hammond rather. I thought that was Gresham. My bad. Ball up and under, getting away from the block, but not the contact is Grant Graham. Grant Graham going to the free throw line now.
You got to get back on defense, fellas. Beautiful play, but you can't celebrate it. You got to get back.
One of those act like you've done it before type of situations. First free throw for Graham, up and good. This is where you want to see it go in a little bit more. Second free throw out. I think we got to fix the scoreboard there. Now it's fixed. Ball up and under by Joe Rozga. Nice little dribble drive. No backside defensive help. So Rozga was able to bank it in and tie the game.
Not just slow, just completely absent.
Now back around. Gets it over to Cortez Seals. Seals hangs, thinks, misses. Rebound down by Frank Delaney. Delaney now gets it up to Rozga. Rozga dribble drives in. Gets a little contact, but no call. Does a quick little Theo Ratliff-esque push-up and moves along. 29-29 remains the score. Dribble driving, spin, traveling. And right there, we take a look. Donnell Gresham of the Raiders. And this is the coach in me. This is the teacher, the father figure in me. Donnell Gresham, there was a little bit of physicality down there. And Stewart on the floor for the other team. Immediately, Gresham went over to give him some hands to pick him up. And that's the type of sportsmanship you want to instill in your players at a high school age. Delaney from Sam Newman. Newman tries to poke it out. He gets Joe Rozga's face. Whoops. Stewart back outside. Squared up at 29 apiece. This Timberwolves shootout's been going since the 1995-96 basketball season. Always takes place around this January time. We've had players like Kevin Love, Sebastian Telfair, Martell Webster. Isaiah Dahlman play here on this floor. Sam Newman gets the ball. Sam Newman played here last year. Tyus Jones played here last year. Joe Rosga got fouled here this year, right now. He comes in, he wanted to get the contact, and well, ask and you shall receive as you see him get the contact there.
And that's what coaches preach at you from day one. Drive, go in, hang in the air, draw that contact.
But then when you get that contact, you have to capitalize, and unfortunately capitalization did not happen. Free throw shooting in the first half for Cretin, 60%. Not any better for the Lancers, 25%. It sounds like a whole new 25 minutes of practice, Coach Dagle.
At least.
Trying to get something moving offensively are the Lancers, getting into the hands of Cortez Seals. That's a good idea. Oh boy, big old block by Ackerman. Maintaining control of the Lancers. Good idea to reset the offense, gets it into the hands of Ricky Grimes.
Not that I blame him, but Scott has gotten kind of stuck passing it.
Ricky Grimes, three ball, no good. Ackerman has the rebound. Mild numbers. Rosga, three. Booyah!
Oh, that shot is a pretty shot.
32-29 with 14:40 to go. Cretin retakes the lead for the first time in quite some time.
And we're finally seeing them play to their strengths. Strong defense turning into offense from that.
Try to answer for a three. Sam Newman wanted the three, goes, drives, contact, two shots.
And as a defender, that's a tough position to be put into. You've got transition defense like that, a shooter like Newman.
Up a creek without a paddle. First free throw good.
Checking into the game now for the Lancers, number 24, Tanner Grieve.
Tanner Grieve coming in. No relation to Lindsey Whalen Grieve. Second free throw by Sam Newman. Rims in. The lead now is up to 5 for Cretin. Biggest lead since the very early goings of the first 3 minutes of the game. Joe Rosga read the pass but couldn't get to it. And I'm not sure how Cortez Seals didn't travel, but he didn't, allegedly, and he got it in. Trims the lead back down to 3.
That pivot foot was planted, supposedly.
With glue on the hardwood. Joe Rosga out to Sam Newman. Newman, dribble drive out to Rosga. Two-man game now includes Jordan Ammons. Now Sam Newman for 3. Booyah! Lead has doubled, and that's, if you're North Scott, now you're starting to go, uh-oh.
And sometimes that's what a player needs. Go to the line, get a few easy shots, a few easy makes, get that confidence going. And we saw the production immediately with Newman coming back with that big 3.
Contact created down low. Is it an offensive foul? No, it's a block. And let's take a look and see if there was position there. Ooh, he was set. It looked like he was set, Micah.
I don't know, Webb. I think that should be going the other way.
But hey, that's why we're up here and they're wearing the uncomfortable polyester stripes, and they can continue to do that. So now Rosga gets a chance to better himself from before. Fans, this is the 2015 Minnesota Timberwolves Shootout. You're watching it on schoolspacemedia.tv. My name is Webster Ford. I'm the play-by-play commentator today. Micah Dagle is to my right. I have the joy of broadcasting with him for the very first time. 8 points is the lead off the 2 made free throws, Micah. This is where Cretin wants to start to put that cliched boot down a little bit.
The confidence is growing. You can see it in the way of every player. You can see the way they are attacking the passing lanes. You can even see it in the way that each man is facing up with the opposing player. There is just an energy that Cretin is playing with that they did not have in the first half.
And it doesn't help anything that the rim has gone cold for the Lancers. Oh, I thought that Newman wanted that three. Lob play, no good. Oh, Ackerman was wide open, and I think Frank Delaney just saw it a half a second too late.
I think he was surprised that he had that close and easy of a shot.
Hey, that's like when you're a receiver, you're going, I'm that wide open. Ball blocked by Ackerman. There's your redemption. Newman thought he had the read. Delaney gets out. Nice recovery, and they're going to call a body foul. Good idea. He went in kind of all willy-nilly like.
Went in out of control. Play within yourself, fella.
And a timeout on the floor. 12-17 to go. 39-31 is the score. Cretin-Derham Hall on top by 8. Fans, make sure the most comprehensive high school sports show in Minnesota on TV and online. You can join Tori Holt and Chrissy Wendell for the Minnesota Prep Spotlight on 45 TV every Saturday night at 11 and watch every show on demand at schoolspacemedia.tv. The accident, sports injury, or just not feeling well? Don't wait. Get to the urgency room in Eagan, Woodbury, or Vadnais Heights. Go to urgencyroom.com to view wait times and to check in online. That's urgencyroom.com. 2015 Timberwolves Shootout Game 2. Take a look at a couple of things going on here in the second half. Sam Newman, Joe Rosga going off a little bit here to start the second half.
That was a great find off of the dribble drive.
And then that patented kickback. Sam Newman wants to shoot a three-pointer like Kobe Bryant shoots all 400 of his shots every game with that weird leg kick. Hey, it works for the man. He went 39 here last year. He's now up to, he was at 6 at half. He's up to 11. So certainly, Micah, if it works, do it, huh?
We talked on the break about urgency, and this is what Northcott needs to come out with now out of this timeout, an urgency, a level of passion and desire to come and start cutting down into this lead.
Ball put up by Stewart, no good on the rebound, but right there is Cortez. Cortez, what a find! Oh, goodness gracious, Grant Graham.
And that's all about passion, all about heart.
That's stuff you can't coach. You can only hope that your players come to practice and game time with it. Ball fed inside to Sam Newman. Newman blocked from behind, goes back up again, blocked twice. And Sam Newman, he looked right at the ref going, come on, man. What you got to do is turn your head, get back on D, and just get it back. You can't control how the refs are going to call the game. 39-33.
So a few times Newman has been caught.
Yeah.
Complaining to the refs and not getting back.
11:25 in the game. And a little hook of the leg, but Stewart got away with it, and he laid it up and in. He has got some quick feet, Micah Dagle. Oof. 39-35, the lead back down to 4 after it had swollen up to 8. Now in the corner for Gresham. Gresham led Cretin at half with 8, and 7 minutes into the second half, he remains with 8 points. Take a look now, kick to Frank Delaney. Nice pump fake, gets it into Sam Newman. Newman got it this time. I heard a big scream of 3 seconds come from the North Scott bench, and I wouldn't deny that, but really, it's kind of like holding happening every call in the football.
Yeah.
3 seconds happens way more than it's called in basketball. Spin line, now outside. Kilberg for 3, and he cuts it down to 3.
And that's a huge shot for momentum's sake.
Best time to have it. Get a little bit of that counter punch now. Gresham looking to get into double digits, and he does off the spin move.
And that's the perfect response. Don't sit back passively, attack the basket.
That's exactly it.
There we go.
And now foul on the floor. Create the contact. Frank Delaney gets called for the foul. And let's see, checking in, we've got Chris Perry into the game. And Danielle Oturu. You hope that Oturu, I hope he gets big. I hope he gets strong, because that's a name over a PA system that you want to hear at a D1 school, and then possibly at the Bradley Center or at the target center as dribble drive, and the aforementioned Aturu, I think, will be whistled for the foul. Nope, my bad. Chris Perry.
Whoops, he used a little help down low.
Stewart at the line, he'll shoot 2.
Lots of timeouts left for both teams. Fouls are pretty even. 4 fouls for Cretin, 3 fouls for North Scott, as the first free throw gets Marlon Stewart shaking his head.
After we saw a very clean first half foul-wise, we're seeing the fouls start to add up now here in the second half.
Second free throw good, cuts the lead down to 4. And now this is attack, counterattack, attack, counterattack. How does Cretin counter this little mini burst of stuff for North Scott? Quick rebound, quick outlet, quick lob, but Cortez Seals needed to be about 7-4 to be able to catch that. Regardless, he was not.
Yeah, Yao Ming may have had a chance.
May
at that
have.
Shot, but
9:47 left here. Again, you're watching this game on schoolspacemedia.tv. My name's Webster Ford. You can find me on the Twitter. You can follow me at Webster L. Ford. You can tweet me in game, out of game, up a game, in a game, everything else. Mike, are you on the Twitter?
nope, I'm old-fashioned.
That happens. That's fine. 4 points is the lead still, as a foul on North Scott. And talk about a cool opportunity, Micah. We talked about play this game, but it's still a cool opportunity for these kids, especially the North Scott, Iowa kids. Sam Newman! Ho, ho, ho! You blink, you miss a shot. You blink, you miss another one. Holy cat, Sam Newman nails it from the parking lot.
And I didn't see who the North Scott defender was on him, but he did everything he could. And there was just nothing you can do.
Nothing could do. Kilberg for 3, can't answer. Sam Newman amidst the trees, amidst the contact. And a drive up to Delaney. Nice little pump fake, knowing the defender was going to come. And a timeout. There was a timeout before that turnover. Timeout on the floor called by North Scott and head coach Seamus Booty. With 9 minutes left, it's 48-39. Full timeout on the floor so they get a chance to talk over things. And again, fans, this game is brought to us in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. More than a college, a community dedicated to your success. It's also brought to us in part by the Urgency Room, with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room or theurgencyroom.com to find out check-in times and wait times. 9 minutes left to play, 48-39, and lots of good action here, and much more action than we saw in the first half. And again, maybe getting those legs undone. And my big player that I've actually been much more surprised by has been Marlon Stewart. We've seen him do a couple of those spin drives, and if you are Cretin-Derham Hall, so far Cortez Seals hasn't done a lot. He's got double-digit scoring, but what I would see is actually trying to maybe go a little bit more at him, at Stewart. As you're taking a look at the entire bench for North Scott. North Scott, again, is out of the Quad Cities area in Iowa, so a bit of a drive. I sure hope they made that drive yesterday or maybe even Thursday. And you see down there, down by the baselines, that's kind of where the student sections are supposed to be. And it's still early for student sections on a weekend. It's empty right now. 8:40 to go, Micah. What are you thinking that North Scott's going to be doing here to try to get rid of this deficit?
It's all about penetration, as you see right there. They get the ball into the paint, and either they can use the post to make a shot, or pass out of it and get an easy jumper. And
that's exactly what Cortez Seals did to trim the lead back down to 7. Whew, Frank Kaminsky for 3. Can't get it, but an offensive rebound out to Joe Rosca. Sam Newman wide open. You can't leave him that open, but he bailed him out. Now a big rebound for North Scott. Do they drive? No, a Euro step by Stewart, and he can't get it, and a rebound by Sam Newman, and he just held it powerfully. That's when you work on practice, you work on even just holding that ball, squeezing that orange.
That's all about hand strength there. And it's been good to see Newman showing other facets of his game. We know about the perimeter shooting and his ability to light up the scoreboard, but he's stuffing the stat sheet tonight. He's got a few dimes. He's crashing the boards. He's been a beast on defense. That's good to see out of your star scoring player, is that he's not just about scoring, that there's more to his game than just that.
Rozga steps back, and that's kind of one of those things that defense doesn't have an off night, and Cortez Seals got forced into a traveling. But, you know, back to that point, Micah, defense never has an off night. You can miss shots. Always play defense. And he's showing that he isn't just a one-sided type of player. He's a multifaceted player, and he's going to do Montana State some good. If I remember right, I believe Montana State, which is where Sam Newman is going to play next year, I believe they're in the WAC. So he's going to try to go wiggity, 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 whack daddy out there in Montana and Bozeman. Floater by Gresham, and it's good.
And it's nice to see Gresham getting back into the flow of the offense. He was such a big part of what they did in the first half.
Ball kicked out to Seals. He thought about a three. He's wearing those old Jordan 7s. Trying to drive on it. Euro step, pop, pop. No basket, but no foul on the floor. And fans, those of you watching at schoolspacemedia.tv, one thing you can't see because there's not a camera on us, I make a crisscross reference and I get nothing. And instead, I get a crisscross look at Cortez Seals. But man, I made a crisscross reference. Come on now. I just got a stare. Oh, nothing. I went wiggity, 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 whack, daddy. Somebody taught them how to run. They don't run like this when they miss the shot. 7 minutes left to go, and oh, Newman with another rebound.
Good decision to pull back, reset the offense.
Ball outside now to Newman, or rather Rozga. Rozga to Gresham. Gresham to Amon. Lots of ball rotation. We mentioned in the first half that it's a good amount of positive patience for the Raiders, and patience always pays off. Rozga floats it up and in. Who needs patience, however, as Cortez Seals lays it up and in. With that full timeout on the floor, the score is 6:27, 52-43 is the score. Cretin-Derham Hall up by 9. It's the 2015 Minnesota Timberwolves Shootout. Our games are brought to us today in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. They are more than a college, a community dedicated to your success. Also brought to you by the Urgency Room. With locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights, they'll have you in fast and home soon. And fans, the most comprehensive high school sports show in Minnesota in TV and online. You can join Tori Holt and Chrissy Wendell for Minnesota Prep Spotlight on 45 TV every Saturday night at 11, and watch every show on demand at schoolspacemedia.tv. Full timeout called, and within this timeout, Micah, you're Coach Booty. You're looking at your Lancers down by 9 right now. What are you telling your guys right now?
We need to run the offense. It seems that Scott is getting away from running set plays and just playing blacktop basketball. And right now, to get back into this game with 6.5 minutes left, we need to run set plays, get our feet underneath us, and get good shots.
And in the process, Cretin getting the chance really to kind of knife through most defenses. You just saw Sam Rozga, or Joe Rozga. I got mixed up with a trainer at Lifetime Fitness in Eden Prairie. Joe Rozga, rather. Knife through the defense. And now we're resetting the offense with just over 6 to go. Dribble drive by Newman. Looks, finds a Perry down low. Chris Perry. Lead now back to double digits.
And as a defender, what do you do? When their top scorer drives in the lane like that, you have to come help. Great job by Newman finding the open man.
Trying to put Seals under duress, or the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, but to no avail. And Seals now will go to the line.
And let's see if this helps Seals calm down a bit, find his shot. he's pressing right now, trying to be everything for his team. He needs to there's still plenty of time left. He needs to let the offense flow, and he will find his shot.
First free throw up and good by Seals. Seals going to the University of North Dakota to play basketball, just in case you were thinking he may have went and played hockey. Second free throw good. Lead back down into single digits. Under 6 to play, though. This is where Cretin, they can play almost a little bit of a Hopkins-style basketball game. They can take the air out of the ball a little bit. And that's, you would expect that when up by 9. Uh-oh, travel. He tried to step, and I think Gresham just forgot the use of his left leg.
Perhaps there was some gum on the floor. His foot stuck. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
We know that it's not parquet flooring, so he's not going to be, tripping like Kevin McHale did in Cheers. So we're good there. 5:20 left to go, 54-45. Little nod head fake, kicked out now, outside.
Too much watching by Scott. They're just watching their star play the game. They need to help him.
I would too if he's that good, but you got to help him out. Nice spin move to no avail. Lead remains 9. Dribble drive by Rozga, charge. Which is hard to believe because Rozga is about 7.5 pounds soaking wet, but he was able to charge him over.
And a great job stepping up and taking that charge. There's an art to taking the charge so you don't get hurt.
And that was Grant Graham, who's playing right now with 4 fouls. He took a chance to not be playing for the rest of the game to go step in for that charge. So kind of how the Latino nation would say have a lot of cojones to be able to take care of that. Oh. Ball poked away by Cretin. Uh-oh, poked back out of bounds, so at least it breaks the break. Now again, 4:44. Time starts to get the best friends.
And this is really where Cretin's style of play really gives them advantage.
What a find! Oh boy, but you got to finish that, Chris Perry. When Rozga finds you, you need to say thank you. I will give you the assist, young man. And instead, a dribble drive by Ricky Grimes.
And then you gotta get back on defense, fellas.
Ricky Grimes trying to get some contact. No look pass. Find Perry. Perry gets tossed to the floor. Make sure to stay tuned to schoolspacemedia.tv. You can join good buddy Mike Peden. You can find him on the Twitter at TheSportsBrain. He'll be the play-by-play man behind the mic for the Morgan Park versus De La Salle game. That's coming up upon the completion of game number 2, which is this one right now. First free throw by Chris Perry. Rattles really hard in. No, there's no mic on the net, on the rim, but that you could hear from at least Ramsey. Second free throw. Extends the lead to 9. Subbing back in is Frank Delaney. I think I said Frank Kaminsky earlier.
I was wondering about that.
And Kaminsky plays for the University of Wisconsin. Whoops. Ball dribbled now by no one other than Seals. Seals gets the ball over to Stewart. Stewart back up top to Grimes. Behind the back dribble, gets the contact, but no foul. Rebound goes to Sam Newman. He is getting ridden like a pony on the line. Now back outside to Newman. Newman to Rozga across court.
I was glad to see Newman pull that shot back in. It wasn't going to be a good shot. It was going to be contested. Let's run the offense, find a better shot.
I will tell you, though, that's never stopped him before. Just a bunny up and no good, and then a rebound poked away, and all of a sudden Cretin goes, oh, we still have the ball. Sam Newman says, yes, sir. Oh, no, sir, on the back rim, hard off of it. And here comes Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life. Not so much. They called the offensive foul. No, they called Gresham.
What? Okay, what just happened?
So I'm confused, but we'll kind of get that figured out. 3:21 left here, a timeout on the floor. And again, this is the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, and it's brought to us by Anoka Community College. Anoka Ramsey dedicated to responding to the educational needs of its changing communities, and it's providing opportunities for enhancing knowledge, skill, and values in a supportive learning environment. Anoka Ramsey Community College, more than a college. And when you need immediate medical care, get to the urgency room. With locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights, they'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the urgency room. 3:21. We're getting things all squared away here. Still doesn't make it any less confusing, but in any case, it is Cretin-Derham Hall's ball. Offensive foul on, now they've got it cleared up. It's on Stewart. They called it on Gresham. They called an offensive foul on Gresham. And now a big turnover. That full court trap. That's like a nightmare.
If they catch you, there's nothing you can do about it.
And we'll take a look here. Yeah, the charge was on, the charge was called on Stewart. Gresham was not set whatsoever.
He was not set at all.
But we return back to play here, and it's 56-47 in favor of Cretin, up by 9. Ball fed over to the corner to Seals. Jump. Oh, that looks nice. That looks,
stab, and shoot. That is beautiful.
That looked real nice. Full court trap put on by the Lancers, and knifed through, and a nice find by Rozga. And that time Ahmed put it in.
And that's what you risk when you implement the trap. If they can get through that first line, there's nothing behind them.
There is no second line. Gets the contact from Frank Delaney, and going to the line will be Grimes. You know, I saw in the previous game, both teams had the opportunity to put kind of their younger kids on the floor, even for just 15 seconds. And as Grimes takes these free throws, Micah, speak to the opportunity of just getting the chance to play on a professional floor.
Well, it goes back to that dream that you have. That first time you pick up a basketball, you know, whether it's a Nerf ball inside or, you know, you're playing in a dirt court in the backyard, that dream is to come onto the NBA floor.
Both free throws good by Grimes, and he pays that free throws back by fouling. Both teams in the bonus. Not the double bonus quite yet, but from here on out, for the final 2 minutes and 37 seconds of regulation, we will be, any foul, any contact will be going to the line. Now Grimes, who has been relatively pivotal as well, he is at 4 fouls as well. So he needs to be careful so that the Lancers can keep him in the game.
It'll be interesting to see how they approach defense now with the foul trouble.
Ball poked away by Rozga. Rozga gets tripped up. No foul. The Cretin faithful want a foul. Now a three-point ball. Good! Up to a possible 5-point swing. And it's 58-54. This is why you save your timeouts for the second half, so you can call a timeout before defense starts. In high school, you can do that. Timeout on the floor, 58-54, 2 minutes and 19 seconds left. Cretin up by 4. This is the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout. It's brought to us in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. Anoka Technical provides the opportunity and the tools to get your dream on track. Get an associate's degree helping you towards your 4-year degree. Anoka Technical has 35 career programs to help you achieve your dreams. And the most comprehensive high school sports show in Minnesota on TV and online has Tori Holt and Chrissy Wendell on the Minnesota Prep Spotlight on 45 TV every Saturday night at 11. And watch every show on demand at schoolspacemedia.tv. Welcome you back to the Target Center, the house that Simone Augustus keeps the bills paid. 58-54 is the score, and Cretin on top. They have the ball, trying to get through the full court trap. They do. And Sam Newman, what a find! A little touch pass. The ball did not touch the floor after it crossed half court, Micah.
That's something special when you can come up with a play like that.
3-point ball, another one, no good. Rozga gets the rebound. Not in foul time yet. Not in foul time yet, not even close. 150, 6 points is the lead. Find Rozga down low, does Sam Newman. Rozga and Newman now have 16 points apiece. Rozga and Newman, attorneys at law, fighting things up. Rebound grabbed by Newman, foul by Tanner Grieve. He can't say he's happy about that one.
I understand the shot, but you still have time on the clock. Taking a three in transition like that, not sure.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's the greatest idea, but we digress, and now we're going to see a whole lot more fouls coming, especially from the Lancers, as they are down by 8 with 96 seconds left to play in regulation. First free throw is good, and that's what a Division I recruit does. He gains the bonus.
And this is the time for your stars to shine. Going to the line, this is where you can ice it.
Can he bring it back to 10 points? And he does. 1:36 left. All starters on the floor for the Lancers. Ball now into Seals. He goes inside and claims a bucket. Chisels it back to 8. As there's 1:25 left in the half. In regulation, poking away. Ball still active, and now in the hands of Cretin. Frank Delaney, power dribble, and he just slaps it off the board and in. And now we're at about 70 seconds left, and this is going to be a tough uphill battle for North Scott of Iowa. Following the rebound, up and back in goes Marlon Stewart.
The battle
battle
gets a lot easier if you don't box out.
Yep, and 1:03 left. Timeout on the floor, 66-58. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves shootout on SchoolSpaceMedia.tv.
In the game now for the Lancers, number 22.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Get the best values at Village Chevrolet. Village Chevrolet has the largest selection of the new 2015 Tahoe and Suburban models in the Twin Cities. Visit villagechev.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
And we welcome you back into the Minnesota Timberwolves shootout. Fresh off the timeout, Cortez Seals gets a bucket really quick off the timeout. And the lead is down to 6, but now we're going to get fouls. And you're going to see that a lot, Micah. Now as the Lancers are starting to feel the D, feel desperate. Double bonus now for the Raiders. They'll every foul, they'll get 2 free throws.
And they have no choice. This is, if the trap doesn't work, they have to foul immediately. Otherwise, they get what you've seen the last few times up and down the floor. Easy lay-ins for Cretin-Derham Hall.
And second free throw good. That's what you need to do to keep your lead distant. Long lob in, 1 second to get across the half-court timeline. Seals, this is where urgency comes in. Seals dribble drive, left-handed layup no good. Kick out, three-point ball, good. 42 seconds left to go and a full timeout called. And that's kind of the advantage of that full timeout ability to be called in high school. You can't do that in the pros, where if you make it and then you can call a timeout. No, you can call a timeout right away. A timeout on the floor here at the Timberwolves shootout, a full timeout, 41.5 seconds to go. We'll be back for the last little bit of regulation right after this. This is the Timberwolves shootout live here on SchoolSpaceMedia.tv.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
With 41.5 seconds left in regulation, my name is Webster Ford. He's Micah Dagle, and a good game we've had. It was North Scott was on top very slightly at halftime. Right now by 5, the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders lead with 41 seconds to go. Ball poked out of bounds. And Micah, we talked about this before, but this is where the desperation is starting to come in for the team from Eldridge, Iowa.
Yeah, this pressure points now, trying to work the trap, trying to get the ball, and then having no choice but to follow.
That's one of those where you need to try for the ball first, but then you need to abandon that if it takes more than 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. You can't let too much time run off the clock.
Rozga gets that Choctaw chew of his mouth guard down there while he's getting his free throws on. Gets this first one to fall, extends the lead to 6. Last year, Cretin-Derham Hall lost to Bettendorf, Iowa, trying to maybe avenge a little revenge from what they had. A 30-second timeout is left on for the North Scott Lancers. Dribble, drive, and you know, it's kind of one of those, give them 2, let them have 2.
Yep, and Cretin did the right thing there. They let him go in, get the quick score. They didn't foul.
Yep.
You live with that. You live with that as Cretin, because now you come back, you get 2 more shots at the free throw line.
You get a very competent free throw shooter in Joe Rozga. Your lead right now is 5. These Raiders took 4th in state last year. Taking a look at the schedule for the Raiders, up next for them, they go down to East Ridge, which is down in the Apple Valley area. They play on Tuesday as the first one swishes through. Next up on SchoolSpaceMedia.tv is game number 3 of the Minnesota Timberwolves Shootout. Game 3 sees Morgan Park of Illinois take on the Islanders of De La Salle. 3-pointer forced, and I think now we might start to see, never mind, I was going to say we might start to see conceit of defeat, but another foul provided, and a foul on 24, Tanner Grieve.
You play until the final buzzer.
Yep, and we were talking about this in the first game. Play for pride. Play for the fact that you got here, because this isn't just, you know, any Joe Blow team and Central Iowa can come, or Central Minnesota, or even just a metro area squad can come. Nope, you have to have merit to be able to get here. You have to have a player that people want to watch, and there's a lot of players on both these squads that people want to watch. Chris Perry checking in. Gresham checking out. And you know, before the game started, I was going to say, you know, Sam Newman, just give him I was ready to crown him as the player of the game. 3-point ball, good. This game's not over. 68-73. Sam Newman gets fouled with 5.7 seconds to go. A 5-point lead. It's going to be a really hard battle to climb up, isn't it, Micah?
Do we have a Reggie Miller miracle waiting for us here at Target Center?
You never know. You never know. Madison Square Garden, brought to you by Chase, I think it is now, instead of just the Madison Square Garden. This is just the Target Center with a lot of ties to the Mayo Clinic. And Sam Newman trying to have a cure for the Raiders' ills from last year. Free throw missed.
That's a big miss. That's a big miss.
Because it's still a 2-possession game, but now it's a 3 and a 2. After this, if it's a miss, ball is live, ball is active. It's made, no timeout called to advance the ball. Slow roll, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's gonna do it. That is your final, 74-68. Cretin-Derham Hall wins. Huge play. As we take a look at everything, we're going to come back and wrap up this game, get records and everything. We'll be back after this break. We'll step aside. You're watching the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by SchoolSpaceMedia.tv and Stream Powered Productions.
You're watching the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by School Space Media and Stream Powered Productions. This game is brought to you in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. It's more than a college. It's a community dedicated to your success. And by the Urgency Room. with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the urgency room. The post-game show is coming up next.
And we welcome you back here to the Target Center, home of the Minnesota Timberwolves 2015 shootout. Webster Ford and Micah Dagle on hand for game number 2 of this shootout. And sees the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders win by a score of 74-68 over the Lancers of North Scott, Iowa. And Micah Dagle, I would be remiss to say that Mr. Rosga, Mr. Joe Rosga would be, in fact, the player of the game, I would say, wouldn't you think?
Roscoe was incredibly impressive. I loved how Cretin-Derham Hall played in this game. We know the talent of Newman. We know his ability to put the ball in the basket. But this was a team win. And that was what really stood out between the difference and why Cretin-Derham took this game. Cretin-Derham Hall played as a team. All 5 players were being involved on both sides of the field.
And with that team play that they had, you know, they went right to the law of averages. They averaged 75 a night. They scored 74. So it's right on average. And we're gonna, and with that law of averages, it's everything good there. And we're gonna be heading now. Actually, we have Don Ackerman ready. He has Sam Newman on the court. Let's go down to Don Ackerman.
All right, Coach, talk a little bit about that second half. You guys kind of got ahead, and then you basically put it away with the free throws. Good composure.
Yeah. We took the time at halftime. We knew early game we had to make some adjustments, and guys listened, followed through. Came out with our game plan in the second half, and it worked out, and guys did a great job.
Now, Sam, one of my favorite plays for you is you're coming down on the fast break, and you kick it down to the guy for the easy layup. How's that feel to pull that off and on a game like this on the Target Center floor?
Well, it feels awesome. I love getting my teammates involved and distributing the ball, so it felt good. It's a good feeling.
How's it feel to play in Target Center? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
We're hoping to play here later in the year, so hopefully it's a good preview.
Oh, so it's like a dress rehearsal. Got it. About this event?
No, it's great. It's great to have the kids here at Target Center. A great experience for them. So we've loved it the past couple of years being here, and hope to be here, in the future.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Sam.
Well, thank you, Don, and getting a chance to hear from Sam Newman, who we see take a couple of shots. And, seeing him last year score 39, have him only score 19 this year was almost a little bit interesting. And with you take a look at it, the Lancers, they are still a pretty darn good team, weren't they?
I was really impressed. And, it's a star-centric team, and sometimes you get away from team basketball when you have a player at the level that Cortez Seals. Yeah, Cortez Seals. You're talking about the main stud of the Lancers, and that he had a fine game. He closed with 25, but just not quite enough. And Micah, as Cretin now improves to 8-4. Or excuse me, 9-3. They remain 4-1 in the Suburban East Conference. They have a good a foot head towards state, right? I think Cretin-Derham Hall is going to be a tough matchup for anybody coming up for the rest of the regular season and going into the playoffs.
Well, excellent. Want to thank you so much, Micah Dagle's my color commentator, Don Ackerman on the sidelines. My name is Webster Ford. Thank you so much for tuning on to schoolspacemedia.tv, and tune in for the next game after this.
By Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. It's more than a college, it's a community dedicated to your success. By the Urgency Room, with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room. And by Minnesota Prep Spotlight, Saturdays at 11 p.m. on 45 TV. Watch this game for free online at schoolspacemedia.tv. or order on DVD at stream-powered.com.